Hey, what's up YouTube? How's everybody doing? Today I'm bringing you guys an update on my 34-gallon Reef system. To be honest, I don't remember when was the last time I actually did a video on this tank. The last video that I did Reef related was the Lax Aquariums frags that I got from them. And from then I haven't really been really active on YouTube, so I just want to apologize. But I am back, so there's going to be more content with this channel. Show you guys what's been going on with this aquarium, with the planet tank to its left, and then to the other tank that is upstairs. So for those that are new to my channel, or for those that haven't been really watching my content in a long time, before this aquarium I had a 30 long innovative marine tank, which I decided to upgrade because of the space. It was the same dimensions as 36 inches long, but just the width and the height is a little bit different. So this is a Aquarium Masters 34-gallon frag tank. Dimensions of this tank is 36 inches long, 18 inches width, and with 11 inches height. So this is actually 2 inches shorter than the Innovative Marine tank, but it is wider by about 5 inches. So as you guys can see, this is not an all-in-one system, and it doesn't have a sump. So I'll tell you guys a little bit more of the equipment that I have for those that haven't been watching my channel for a while now. So what I have, I'm still using my Generation 1 in Aqua Illumination AI Primes HDs, and for filtration I decided to go with a Aqua Clear 70, which has the stock sponge, and it has the Chemi Pure Blue and some matrix to host the beneficial bacteria. Now for wave makers, I have Jabos OW10s, I believe, and then I have the Ghost Skimmer that I had for my Innovative Marine tank, which has been working well for me, as you guys can see. But I wasn't thinking of using a skimmer, but I'm still debating that because it doesn't really look that nice in this tank. Just by that, guys, at first I want to have a low take Reef tank, but just having the skimmer there and having a hand on the back, I'm not used to it anymore. So these past days I was thinking of getting a new tank or drilling this tank, or I'm not sure what. And then a lot of things that has been going on with this tank. So let's jump in real quick. Let me turn off the white lights and leave the blue lights on, and put a filter to this camera so we can talk more about the livestock of this aquarium, because there has been a lot of changes regarding the livestock of this tank. So thank you guys for holding on tight. Hope you guys could watch the rest of this video so we could talk more about this tank, what's new and what has changed. Alright guys, so let's start with the left side of this aquarium with a top view. As you can see, I have a couple of hammers here. These are toxic splatter hammers. And this side of my tank to the left, what I want to have is a Euphilia garden, mostly with hammers and frog spawns, and that's what I have here. I had two hammers here where you see the most white, but they weren't doing that well, so I placed them down there in the bottom. But the other ones, they're doing great. And then here in the bottom of those, I have some mushroom corals. As you can see, I have some green hairy mushrooms which split not that long ago. The wave pump just turned on, so let me turn it off. That way you guys will be able to see a better top view of the tank. So to the left bottom, I have the hairy mushroom which just split about a week ago. And then when you guys see that cup, I have a baby sun-kissed mushroom which is really small, and I have it placed in these little mushroom cup holders things that my wife won from Instagram, which I'm not using these, and neither is she, so well, I just have them put away. And then to the right of the hairy mushroom, I have some wild caught deadpools, which they had split, and finally they're able to attach to a disc. I don't know if the light's going to allow me, but then next to it I have a kryptonite mushroom, and on top of the kryptonite mushroom I have a super freak mushroom. And here to the bottom left I also have my green Ganipora, which has been doing really well. And if we move a little bit more over, we have a couple of Soas, we have another hammer coral, we have a frog spawn, and a bicolor hammer to the right of the frog spawn. And then more Soas to the bottom. And then here in the middle I have like a Soa rock garden, which you can't see because of the flow of the hang in the back, but will look more from the side of the tank. And if we move more to the right, this rock I was going to put torches here, but 2 of my torches died. They're the ones that I received from Lax Aquariums. They arrived, they didn't arrive really well, you know, due to shipping and stuff like that. But I'm left with the biggest one, which is doing well, which my clown is trying to host. But I just got hit an enemy, and he doesn't realize that there's an enemy. He just wants to host that torch coral. And then to the bottom here I have some Aikens. So now let's jump in more to the tank. We'll dive into the side or the front of the tank, and we'll have different views of this aquarium. Just to forgive or excuse the loud noise in the background. It is daytime and my tank is in the living room. My family's downstairs and I don't really have time to record, so this is the time that I have to record now, and I hope you guys have the patience to go through this video if the background noise is a little bit too loud. Alright, now from the front view of the tank, let's start back with the left side. Talk a little bit more of these hammers. I've been having these hammers for about a month now, I think so, and they've been doing really well. They look fat and healthy, and they love the location where they at. And here to the bottom left, that's where I have my Ganipora, which I just placed it here today because it's usually bigger than this, but I just placed it here because the clownfish for some reason knocked it over and was messing with it. So I placed it in an area where the clownfish doesn't really like or doesn't really hang out. And then here, like I said, I have my hairy mushroom, and I have the wild caught deadpools, which are there. I haven't really seen any color on them, like any gold or black. They're just like red, so hopefully they get some color to them. And then a little bit above the wild caught deadpool mushroom, I have a kryptonite, which has some color. It does have some black and green. Just from this angle of the camera and being daylight, you guys aren't really able to see the color, but I love this mushroom. Hopefully it grows and it gives some babies. And then behind it, that's where I have the super freak mushroom, which is still small, but same as the deadpool, the kryptonite and the deadpools. Hopefully it grows and it does really well in this aquarium and gives a lot of babies. Now next to it I have a hammer coral, which I bought from a local hobbyist. For some reason it never really did well in this tank and in my wife's tanks as well. For some reason they have lost color. I don't know why. I tried to feed it and leave it alone, but recently I have had a couple losses in this tank. Probably so far I have lost about 3 corals, 2 hammers and 1 frog spawn. And then on top of it I have another hammer which I got from my local pet store, which I really like it. It changed color in my aquarium, and in their tank it looked more white, but here it has like the purple tips and the green stem, which is really different from the other hammer corals that I have, so that's a big plus, and I'm lucky for that deal. Now underneath it is a I bought it as a Indo frog spawn. It's more like a highlighted color, and it has been doing pretty well. Before it would extend more, but as long as it looks healthy, I am fine with it. Now to the bottom, I have a bicolor, or what it was supposed to be, a bicolor hammer coral, which I bought from a local hobbyist as well. It all depends the linings and the setups of the persons. They would adjust, you know, and some won't do really well. But like the other one, it lost some of its color, and yeah, it never really looked that healthy when I got it. After I got it, for some reason, I fed it. I tried to move it in a couple places to see where it'll be more happy. But you know, I'm gonna leave it how it is, and hopefully it recovers. If it doesn't, then that sucks for me. I've had a couple losses now. That is something that everybody goes through, you know. For some reason corals, they just die or melt. But yeah. Now I want to focus on the soas that I have. These are actually in the front of the aquarium. They were placed here because I couldn't find no more room for them, or they were just knocked over from the rocks. Here I have a Gatorade, and then next to it I have some scrambled eggs. Then that one that you can't really see, I think that's a pink zipper, and then an empty disc. The soa just got lost. I guess it removed itself from there. And then on top of it, I have another coral, which I don't really have the name for it. And these are just the soas that I have here in the front. I have a lot of what you could say duplicates of these soas in this tank and in my wife's tank. I'm not sure if I want to keep soas in this aquarium, since I actually went through some experience with polytoxin, and that is something I don't want to go through again. But for now, they'll be here. I haven't really posted them up online to see if any other local hobbyist wants to purchase them from me. Now we are in the soa garden, the big rock in the middle of the tank, which I wanted to do a soa garden if I don't rehome none of these soas. And excuse me if I forget the names of these soas. They're just so hard. A lot of names. I know that the one to the left, that is a now I forgot the name of it, blue hornet, and then the one to the right of it, it is a rainbow hornet. That's how I purchased it. And then the one in the bottom, I forgot its name. And then up there we have a sweet tooth zoa, I believe that's the name of it. And then down there I have another type of blue hornet or purple hornet with some other type of I think these are blondies. I think that's what they're called. And then on top of that there is a pink zipper, and on top of that pink zipper we'll find some rostas. And then on the top more we'll have some scrambled eggs, and then one soa underneath, which I just placed it there not long before recording this video, but it failed, so that's why it's not open. And then to the right we have more corals, which like I said, I suck with names. So those are the corals that are actually in that rock. There's one in the back, and I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but I'll try to turn off the pumps again, and hopefully you guys will be able to see it. Alright, so I decided to turn off the hang in the back filter, and now you'll be able to see more of the scrambled egg, which is on top of the rock. Then to its left we have the rostas, and then to the right we have the Gatorades there, and we have another blue hornet on the bottom there. And then I had right there, which it is a Otter Chaos, which for some reason hasn't been doing really well. Now if we go back where these hammers are, I actually have more soas. In this rock we could find some Bam Bam. I was gonna say Bam Bams, but it's only one, so it's a Bam Bam. And I think those are blondies again. And then next to it, I think that's a Sonic Flare, I think so. I can't really tell from up here. And then we have more rostas. Like I said, I have a lot of duplicates of some of the corals. Like here I have another Gatorade. But I remember I purchased it, now it says a Gatorade. I purchased one from a local hobbyist as a Gatorade, and then the other one I forgot what I purchased it as, but they do look a little bit different. And I actually found another Sonic Flare, which is right there. Those are mixed. Sometimes when I frag my SOAs, it's really hard to tell which is which. That's why when you frag them, just frag one or two and make sure where you fragged it from, because if not, you'll do something like this. And from here, let me tell you guys, I'm not going to frag it. I'll just leave it as is and let it grow. Some are faster growers and some are not. So yeah. But accidentally, for my wife's tank, I did the same mistake, but she has like a little mix of polyps and it actually looks pretty nice in her. Okay, so moving to the right side of the tank, that rock next to the big boulder, we already seen this Gatorade, but there's one more soda that I wanted to show you guys, which I already have, like I said. On a lot of duplicates. I have another scrambled eggs, and then underneath there, that's a rose bubble tip anemone that I got. This is not the first bubble tip anemone that I got for this tank. So I actually got it from a local hobbyist. She had first sold me 2 bubble tip anemones, good size too, like a softball size. Excuse my baby, she snicks to me and she gets upset if I move her. And so I bought 2 anemones from her. One I placed it in my wife's tank and it's doing wonderful. The other one I placed it here, but I didn't let it attach to a rock, and I placed it in a in the wrong location. At that time, I had 2 hang on the back filters, so somehow it got stuck to the intake of the Aqua Clear 70. I tried to rescue it, and it died on me. And I guess that released a couple of toxins to this aquariums, which I went through an ugly stage on my tank. I had to do about first a 50% water change, and then I left home for about a week and I came back, and then I did another 20%, and now things look more stable. I've always had bad luck for anemones. My wife hasn't, because hers has been doing well, but I have. But I was like, you know what, let me try to get another one from her, because she had 3 at that time that she was rehoming. She still has 2 that are hers. And I'm talking about the local hobbyist. But we had a conversation where I told her that if she was willing to trade some corals for another anemone, she said yes. So what I did, I have a frag tank upstairs, and I traded her 3 frags, a scrambled egg, a Gatorade, and the other one, I don't know what was the name, and I gave her some Bam Bams. She gave me this anemone, and she also gave me a super freak mushroom. Not super freak, sorry, a Superman mushroom. And so far, this anemone has been doing really well. The reason I purchased the first anemone was because my clownfish started to host my torch, which I don't want it to really bother the torch or kill it in any way, irritate it. So I bought the anemone. It didn't go well for me. Then I decided, you know what, let me get an anemone because the anemone looks nice on my wife's tank. So I went with it. So that is the story with an anemone. Sorry if I'm talking a lot. It's just the fact that it's been a long time since I've been doing an update on this aquarium, or this probably could be the first official update. And there's a lot of things that's been going on with this tank. Now we move more down. We have the torch. This was sold to me as an Indo torch. That's what they sold it as, an Indo torch. Oh no, sorry, I'm lying. An Aussie torch. And they told me it had pink tips with a pink tentacles or something. Either pink tips or whatever. But it doesn't have no color, so that really disappointed me. And do you know how much this piece cost me? $105 or $15, which was a ripoff. Because I had that torch before and I bought it from a local hobbyist for $40. That's why be careful when you buy online, guys. If you can, go to your local hobbyist, local pet store. But if you have no other option, then just go online. But just go through reviews, and if you belong to a group, a local Facebook group or organization with the hobby, just ask them about that seller, about that website, so they could give you the honest experience reviews. For this channel, I am not scared to give honest reviews. Nowadays, a lot of hobbyists, they don't do that. Why? Because they receive free things. They get sponsored and they get free things, and that's why they don't never give honest reviews. But for me and my channel, we'll speak the truth. Enough talking about that torch. I love it, but I did get upset because I bought it with a false description. Now, let's move more down there. I paused talking because I noticed there's some gravel in that mouth of that akin, which I'm going to remove that gravel. So this akin, I bought it from Lax Aquariums. This was sold as an ultra akin. Looked bigger when I bought it online, which I think is the same size as my other akin, which my other akin has been with me for a cool while now. And then I have another akin which I bought from my local vendor, CVR, Central Valley Reefer. And then these are some other akins that I bought from him. And now let's go to the front view of these corals. Alright, so I missed the SOA. So underneath the torch there is another scrambled egg. Like I said, I have a lot of duplicates, and that is the last SOA of this aquarium. And underneath it we could find the akins. Man, I love akins. I used to have some, but they died because I have an Echinata akin, which I thought they could all get along. But Echinatas are a little bit more aggressive. But this is my little akin collection, so hopefully those little frags will grow to at least be something like that, which, you know, everything looks nicer in person, guys. And then to the final coral of my tank. This was actually given to me from one of my friends, a brother in Christ. He just started to get a saltwater tank, and he bought this from our local pet stores, and he just gave it to me because I have given him a couple of corals as well and some equipment. So he gave me this coral, which I don't know the name of it, but it's nice. One thing that I learned from it is that it likes being in, you know, in the bottom. I tried to place it on top and it wasn't doing so well, so I placed it on the bottom, and I have seen some growth on it, and the color has really been popping on that coral. So that is for the livestock of this tank. Oh, forgot the fish. So for fish, I still have my snowflake, my black snowflake clownfish, and I have a yellow tank somewhere here. And for my cleanup crew so far, I have hermit crabs and some snails. Yeah. Now this is the rock that I purchased from Bulk Reef Supply. I think it's about 20 pounds of it, 25 pounds of it. And you know, I don't really like how it looks, but just being a shallow tank, it is really hard to aquascape it, rockscape it. If I was to ever upgrade or get a different tank, what I'll probably do is just break those rocks and see what type of designs I can get from them. And for substrate, guys, I went with the Hawaiian black substrate. I asked opinions from my local Reef group, and at that time this was the only thing I could afford. And then I seen some other people on Instagram that had it, so I was like, you know what, let me try to get it. But just owning it, it's not that I dislike it or I hate it, but I prefer the Fiji Pink, which is another sand that I had. This is more like a gravel and not a sand. And one thing I noticed is like magnetic, so it would attach to anything that has magnet, like your glass cleaners. And it worried me in case it releases copper or some type of material to the water column, affecting your corals and your bottom column and having algae spikes. To be honest, I was thinking of just swapping the gravel, this one, but I don't have that type of money. I've been investing too much in this tank or this hobby, which now I don't want to, you know, be throwing money to the trash, burning money. So I'm gonna leave it as is, and I hope that the balance of this ecosystem recovers and everything flourishes. So far, this is my aquarium, and excuse the glare, there is another tank with some lights onto the left. With that is going to be a video for later this week on my planet tank, because a lot has changed there and there's a lot to talk about that. So anyhow, guys, this is the video for today. This is a 34-gallon reef tank that I have. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for your patience, and for those that actually stayed and watched the whole video. Thank you guys. If you're new and you come across this video, this channel, you like the content, you guys are welcome to hit the subscribe button. Comment down below any questions, any suggestions, dislike. Till then, guys, hope you guys have a great day. Stay safe, and Twins Reef is out.